I just want to say first and foreskin, before anything else happens, I have my headphones in.
Oh, good.
So there's nothing
First
you could say at the top. But I'll jump on you and I'll call you out for something.
Okay.
You look absolutely beautiful today.
Aww.
And your hair looks nice, cascading from your head.
Thank you.
You look like a Pantene Pro V commercial.
Thank you.
From whatever time that was really popular. Not from now.
Not from now. I feel like,
You look like Catherine Zeta-Jones' sister.
Okay.
Jennifer Zeta-Jones.
Jennifer Zeta? Catherine and Jennifer?
They have the same married last name, too, for some reason. Barbara Zeta-Jones.
Yeah. Penelope Zeta-Jones.
Penelope Zeta-Jones Henderson. Because she
Yes.
got married to somebody else. And John Henderson was like, why is my name got to be last in the line? Because you're not famous.
Okay, John.
Because you're...
John.
Because
okay.
you make wood sculptures.
Yeah,
And I love you, but we're actually not living off the sculptures.
Okay.
Welcome to today.
Welcome.
Let's all just take a moment and breathe in today. No, exhale. Breathe in today and keep it in you.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Los Angeles, then it's not good to keep the air in for that long. Thank you for joining us on what is a hectic Monday. And I'm grateful to be able to sit down across from you and look at your beautiful fucking face.
Thanks.
And talk to you in the morning.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to have a lot of time together.
Not this week.
Me and Zoya are separating.
No.
And we thought that we'd tell you guys like this before we even
Talked about it. Right.
No, that's not true. We love each other very much, but we're going to be traveling. And like always, ships in the night. That, of course, the sound of two ships passing in the night.
Where are you going to be?
Where am I going to be?
Tell me.
I'll tell you, Zoe. All this week, I'm talking the fort. I heard that.
Yeah.
It was like a turtle. Like you swallowed a turtle.
Yeah. Yeah.
4/19 through 4/22, I'll be in Austin, Texas at the Moon Tower Comedy Festival, which I wasn't able to get excited for until very recently.
Okay.
Like this morning.
All right.
Because I have so much to do.
Right.
And I try not to think too far ahead or else I'll fuck up the things that I have to do currently. But I am now very excited to be at the JFL Moon Tower Festival doing 4 surrounded shows and a bunch of other shows at the Velve Theater. And each night, the 19th through the 22nd, they start at 9:30 p.m. And you can buy like a temporary badge for the show. You can buy a badge that gets you into all the shows. They have all different tiers. But if you're anywhere in Texas and you want to come hang out, be my guest.
My guess.
On May 11th.
May 11th.
May 11th, I have a show in the lab called Mike Falzone Tries Things with His Friends. And that's where me and some of my friends are going to try things.
Try new jokes.
But that is going to be a new jokes night for an extended set, which is kind of a rare thing in Los Angeles. I'm going to be up there for a little bit. So if you want to see that, if you want to travel to come see that, I would love to have you travel to come. On the 12th, me and Steve will be doing Dynamic Banter in Salem, Oregon. I'm really all over the place in May. So all LA shows will always be available in my stories on Instagram. I always post them up there. Sometimes I post them on Main. If there's a ticket link, I'll do my best to get them up on MikeFalzone.com if you want to keep checking that. Somewhere around the middle of May, I will be back in San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be in San Diego twice, actually.
Nose.
Headlining. It is nose.
Nose.
I'll be headlining Madhouse Comedy in San Diego on the 19th and on the 20th. That's a Friday, Saturday. And then on the 31st, I think we're doing another fucking Surrounded at Whistle Stop, which was packed last time, standing room only. One of the most fun Surrounded shows there has been.
Has been.
And I'll say this as well. June 2nd, I know it's a far way out. I know you're sitting home and thinking, Mike, I just dusted off my shorts.
Go
I
ahead
just
and
dusted
dust your
off my shorts
off.
because the weather is getting nicer. I'm dealing with seasonal allergies. You can't be throwing plans at me for June. But guess what you're doing on June 2nd?
What?
You're going to the second Surrounded show in the main room of the world famous Hollywood Improv.
That's great.
Tickets for that are on sale now at improv.com. Also, that Mike Falzone tries stuff out on May 11th. Also, MikeFalzone.com.
That's pretty good.
And that was the smoothest I've ever gone through some announcements. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of you for sitting here and not getting too bored. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys at the shows.
Thanks so much for listening, you guys. I'm going to be taking a 2-day class in Vegas. And I leave right after work on Saturday. So I'm doing that. And that was the last minute thing that I booked yesterday. I was trying to get in on it because I actually wanted to go to Austin with you.
You would have so much fun.
But when it comes to you getting your travel and my schedule, it doesn't kind of work out.
What is the class for?
It's a long-haired styling class. So, so I've been actually wanting to take this class. This woman's from Australia. She's like one of the best of the best. So it's like a master class, long hair styling class. And a bunch of my friends are going to be there, and I'm excited to go.
Girls Weekend.
Girls Weekend.
Girls Weekend at long hair
Expensive,
styling
though.
class.
Yeah.
That's okay, dude. You're going to fucking... That's an investment in... you're going to be able to make money with that class.
Yeah.
So it's basically free.
Yeah, basically.
They're paying you to take the class eventually.
Well, I enjoy taking classes. We've been talking about, trying to get into more classes because I feel like all of us right now, like me and a lot of my colleagues, are feeling a little bit stagnant in like what we've been doing and or lack thereof, and it's like you end up getting stuck in like this this rat race of just like, okay, you just go into work and do this and that and everything is the same. I'd really like to take
That's Zoya's comedy special, by the way.
Yeah.
Everything is this.
Yeah. So it's so I'd like to take, like a haircutting class. I'd like to take a color class, a foil class, and all of that stuff soon. So
You're already so good.
thank you.
You're going to be unstoppable.
I'm okay.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I say to people who are just okay.
Yeah.
So you are so good.
You're so good.
You know what I say to people who are amazing?
You're incredible.
Yeah. Dude. I've been hearing a lot of the voice lately.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think people are kidding, but it's just the real voice. Hachi machi, pudding in pie.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Bitches, this is goddamn welcome to our podcast.
Yes.
And that is a show where a hairdresser, as you've heard, and a comedian, as you've heard, who has real dates that he has to go to, things to do. What?
I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
I'm talking about my passion.
You're
and
doing
my art.
great.
And you're saying,
like...
you're going to make me play the game. Don't make me play the game, Zoe.
Okay.
Don't make me play the game where I play the recording of my last show on my phone.
All right, let's
and
go.
just go to a random
Okay.
number and see if there is laughing.
Okay. If there's laughing.
Next time you piss me off, we're going to play the game.
Okay, let's go. What were
So
you?
this is a show where a comedian and a hairdresser who happen to love each other very much and have had sex talk about any question that you bring into the podcast, preferably about your relationship to something else. Your partner, your lack thereof, your moving across the country and you're trying to make friends is a
Yeah.
question that we've answered 7,000 times.
Which I won't be answering anymore.
Zoya's out.
I'm done.
What's your final answer? How do you move across the country and
Just
make
fucking
friends?
go.
Just go.
Just go.
If you're doing things you like when you get to an unfamiliar place, you'll always find some like-minded people, or that is the best possible. You're going to give yourself the best shot to meet
Yes.
people like that. Final answer.
Yes.
What superpower would you have? What is your relationship to superpowers? So on and so forth. So we collect these questions through Instagram at Welcome to Our Podcast with a bunch of underscores in the middle, and Twitter at Welcome Pod, and through my community number, which you could text anytime, and also get updates on live shows and stuff like that.
That's 818-722-8682.
Okay, and we're gonna check those later to see if we have either this episode.
I
or
have
next.
a few questions here.
Me too. Did I send you the
You
questions
send me
from Josh?
one.
Shout out Josh. Shout out Leah.
Leah.
Lane.
No.
Lena.
No. Enough of that.
Our
That's
buddy
enough.
Drew just texted about our buddy Lima. Drew was on the show recently, and Lima's an editor, and Drew is
Leah.
an editor.
Stop it.
What?
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
That's annoying.
Josh, I said.
No. Shout out to our team that helps us.
What a pain in the ass.
We love you.
Dude, what a pain in the
We
ass.
appreciate you.
To make the same joke for
Too long?
over 3 years.
It's way too long.
Not even funny anymore. Just funny to me. Anyway, Leia, couldn't do without you. So we got some questions from Josh, and thank you so much for sending those. And here is what he said. Here's the question. I went out with a girl a few times. And we did hook up here and there.
Okay. Getting it in, slapping skins, getting it in.
But I've realized that the chemistry we have gives me more of a great friend's vibe.
Oh, man.
She doesn't seem to feel the same way.
Uh-oh.
And has been showing signs of being very much into me romantically.
Don't be so good.
How do I How do I tell her this in a way that doesn't upset her, or at least upsets her the least amount of possible?
Well, first of all, kudos to you for wanting to, let her know and not just ghost her.
Yeah.
So that's bravo.
Yes.
But there's no easy way to tell somebody that you're just not that into them.
And that's why people ghost people.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be liked by everyone at all times.
Yeah.
And nobody wants any kind of lapse in that. I can't have this person be mad at me. We had a great time. There's maybe nothing wrong with this person. I can't have them be mad at me. But in order to not hurt somebody more in the long run, you gotta have a difficult, weird time for a second. Everyone will appreciate it in the end.
Yeah.
When she's married and has a family and forgets everything about you but your sex,
Yeah.
everyone will be better for it.
Yeah. I think that, it's never going to be an easy conversation to have, but I think all you just need to do is be honest with them and be like, I'm sorry. This just isn't for me.
Yeah.
Here's
another suggestion. If you know that you're hooking up with someone that you don't want to be with, maybe they're ugly or whatever, be bad at it, so they don't want to do it again. Don't try so hard. Why are you trying so hard with someone that you know that you don't want to be with ever again? Don't make here. I guess here is the thing. And maybe you're sitting here being like, well, how do I know if I'm trying too hard? Is the other person doing cat? If the person that you're with is doing cat, you might be doing too much. You don't just give somebody an orgasm. That's like giving someone a wrapped gift. And you wouldn't just give somebody a wrapped gift every day unless you love them very much. It's obnoxious, but it's also a really good idea.
It's really true. Yeah, right.
Wouldn't recommend it, but it will do the trick. I think.
Stop giving wrap gifts to people that you don't really want to give wrap gifts to.
You're taking wrapped gifts.
Unwrap those gifts and keep them home.
Yeah, unwrap your own gifts before you call somebody else.
Yeah. I have a question here.
What's up?
How do I learn to value my life achievements more?
Sounds like we got a little bit of posture syndrome. What is when you sit with your neck in your shoulders? What's up?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome?
Mm-hmm. It means
when you have better posture outside. Mm-hmm. When you have better posture on the inside, like in your heart. Mm-hmm. What were we talking about? How do you value your life achievements more? Mm-hmm.
When I read this question first, I immediately had questions as to what are the types of people you have around you.
Why?
Because I feel like sometimes when you have shitty people around you and you're so excited to share with them like what you've done and what you've accomplished and all these things, and they're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, and then it's all about them.
Yeah, there are people
that like dumb it down for you, and it's like,
or make you not want to talk about it.
Right. So I think what it is maybe checking to see what your surroundings are, or the people that you keep close to you, and see how excited they are for you, because how excited would you be for them?
In all honesty, I think that is a part of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a good, that's good to keep in mind. But I think above that is what this person is asking, which is like how to be able to do that for yourself, even if there is no one around.
Yeah.
How do you do it for yourself? What, you work hard, presumably. Mm-hmm. We don't know what you do.
Right.
Maybe you butcher cattle or something like that. Mm-hmm. And
you shear sheep.
Maybe you shear sheep. And there's no one really around. There's no one to pat you on the back when you're shearing sheep. Eventually you'll see someone with like a sweater or something. And you'd be like, I might have had a hand in that. Mm-hmm. So you shouldn't, even though I think it's easier to feel appreciated and validated from an outside source, you do have to give yourself at least some of that.
Yeah.
You know, or do you feel totally validated? Is it a sociopath thing to feel completely validated on your own, or is that a Zen thing?
No, I think you should be proud of what you've accomplished.
What if I'm a comedian and I think I'm hilarious and I'm totally proud, but in reality, I eat shit all the time? You know, should I be completely?
No,
I could be happy.
You're doing great.
I wasn't. I was doing it like a hypothetical, and now you're doing it like kind of. This is how it is.
No, come on. Me, I would never.
Do you think I'm not a funny comedian, Zoe?
Mike, I think that we should answer the next question.
I think we should answer this question. Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Somebody's fucking fracking outside. Maybe they're putting more water on the floor of the apartment to move the dirt around.
Maybe.
What are we at,
Mike?
right
I
now?
think you're very funny.
Oh, we're only at
okay?
18. Okay,
yeah, I think you're very funny. And there it is.
And there is an answer. Thank you so much, Zoe.
You're so welcome.
You know how much it feels like when you do that.
I have another question.
Uh-huh.
Do you have another question?
No, did we answer the other one?
I thought I did.
How do we get more value out of... You said check with the people around you.
Yeah.
And then you said you should get validated by yourself. But
yeah.
how?
I mean, think about how hard you worked to achieve these achievements, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't need the pat on the back from anybody else around you. You know that you worked hard. You know that you put in the fucking time, you put in the work, you did all of the things, all of the right things to get these things. And now what? You're just, I think
Yeah, it's like tell a younger version of yourself what you've done so far.
Yeah, and like where did you start and where did you come from and all of that. Like it's not easy to sit there. I know I feel like I'm talking in circles.
No. You're saying you made a reference and I didn't want to stop your train of thought, but I did it anyways. I think you're doing a good job.
I think that we all want we hit one achievement and then we want to hit the next one, right?
Yeah, the goalposts are always moving.
Right. So then it's like you can't appreciate what you've already achieved when you just keep moving forward, right? And not giving yourself a victory there.
Well, we live in a goddamn capitalistic society where we always need something else. But it is very important to take the time, especially after you've completed something or after you've achieved something. Maybe you get a job, maybe you quit a job, move on to something else. Maybe it could be a piece of artwork that you finish.
Right.
Try to take a couple seconds and be like, that's done. That's nice that it's done. And recognize the work that went into it. Because I don't know. I think our brain, this is going to sound really stupid, but I think our brains and our bodies are so crazy that it baffles me that everything works all the time. And it doesn't work all the time. I can't read, for example. But when it does work, when your brain is cool enough to like figure some shit out that helps you achieve a thing, just stop and thank your brain and give it a little rest.
Yeah.
And appreciate everything it took to do the thing.
Yeah.
But really, like, you can't do that if you're always like, it's like you're always moving your feet to the next thing. It's okay to rest. Maybe that's the root of all of it. It's like, maybe it's a confidence thing and maybe you're not allowing yourself to like actually completely rest.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always like, okay, that's fine. I did that. But then how can I do it better for the next achievement?
Yeah. Or it's like everyone's, you need money for rent and whatever. Like rent's still due next month. Rent doesn't stop and appreciate your whatever.
Right.
So the thing that you can control is like you chill out for a second and be like, I'm not where I was 5 years ago. Yeah. And take some pride in that. And then stop working for a couple years.
Yeah, I mean,
every time you do something, stop working for a couple years.
Don't do that. Don't listen to that advice.
Go backpacking.
No, I mean that's cool. If you can and have the means, do that. That's cool.
Like around your neighborhood, so it doesn't cost much, and you always know where you are at.
Always, you always know.
Breathe in the earth around us, you idiots. Do you have another one?
I do.
I just got the hookup one. Josh, why'd you send just me the hookup one? Am I the hookup guy?
I guess so.
Remember that other strategy we had on the show about hooking up with someone and then telling them that you fell in love with your best friend? So they could be like, whoa, you should go be with them. Meanwhile, you're like, I don't even have a best friend. Joke's on you.
I don't even have one friend.
I'm
interested to hear what advice you have for when you aren't really vibing with a friend's friend. They aren't doing anything wrong, just no common interests / engaging conversations to be had.
I feel you. I have a lot of those, and I just try not to be in the same place as those people. The older that you get, you have... it feels like, at least in my experience, is I have more freedom of movement. I feel like I have to be less places the older that I get. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm in a situation where it's like 3 or more of my friends are hanging out at once, that's kind of rare.
Yeah.
So I'm never like, let's go to the mall. It's the 3 of us at the mall. Like my friendships in high school, where like the 3 or 4 of us are going to the mall, and there was always one person who you're like, I don't fucking want to hear that person's
I don't want
voice
to
today.
fucking see that person.
But it's like now as an adult, I just don't hang out with those people. Especially if it's a friend of a friend, you don't owe each other nothing.
No.
You hang out with your friend separately. Joint custody.
Yeah. Wow, that's a throwback.
And it's always in there, though.
Wow.
It's always just in there.
That's pretty good. I haven't heard
And that's
that.
what my brain is like.
Whoa.
My brain doesn't know how to put words in the right order.
Yes.
It doesn't really remember what happened yesterday.
No.
But I can recite 25% of my set from
5 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
And what's that? And who's asking me to do that? I don't remember algebra or math, but I can tell you shitty jokes I wrote when I first started doing
I'm going to tell
comedy.
your aunt that you don't remember
She
math.
knows. She knew before I knew that I forgot math. I forgot math while she was teaching it to me. Shout out
good.
Aunt Karen. Karen's got a bad name, but my Aunt Karen is the only
She's the
way
shit.
that I graduated college.
Mm-hmm.
She sat down and she was like, how did you get this far without knowing literally any math? And I said, a doctor told me there were blockages in my brain where I get, did I ever tell you this? When my parents had me tested, shout out to my parents for having me tested. And they were like, why is he such a piece of shit in school? Some variation of that.
Mm.
So I think we've had them tell this story on
Mm-hmm.
the podcast before. So I would get really easy things and get more complicated things, but there was a whole chunk in the middle that I didn't get. And my aunt sat with me when I was in danger of failing out of college. And she was like, you have to.
Yeah.
You got to get this.
Yeah.
And then we got it enough to pass whatever. And now I got nothing. Now I could do the tip at a restaurant fast and that about it. That's the only math I memorize.
And that about it. I mean, that's easy math, though.
You're right.
I mean, I don't know if I was to sit down. I liked math. I was decent in math. Anytime I had a math question, though, I had a good math teacher that I used to go and like hide out in her room. I swear to God, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have graduated high school because I was bad. Anyway.
Why? Because you're eating cigarettes every day?
Shut up. You guys, thank you so much for listening.
I heard that there was one day in school that you went into the teacher's lounge and you beat up all the teachers.
No, that's not true.
I heard you hung a teacher off the balcony by his ankles.
No, that's not true.
I heard you pulled the teacher's pants down and punched him in the dick once.
Imagine that.
That's what I heard. That was what they were talking about on our side.
There
of
was
town.
a teacher that I would have done that to for sure.
We all had that teacher.
Yeah.
One time a teacher threw pencil at my head.
What if
big
it hit
deal.
you in your eye?
I probably would have deserved it. I was a piece of shit in school, dude. I was a real piece of shit. I was a real piece of work.
Well,
Because I always just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. But it's not about you all the time. Sometimes you got to chill out. And you have to do, when you're in school, you got to stay in school. Thank you.
Okay. As you know, patreon.com is virtual tipping and rewards website where you give us a little bit of your hard-earned cash and our $10 group gets a shout out. And that goes a little something like this. Catherine Connor, Alex Behringer, Ryan Cruteau, Rusty Cole Rusty.
Cruteaus are the things that you put in salad.
Yeah. Joseph Capricusio, Shannon Haynes, DLD, Ernesto, Raja Knows.
Raja knows.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Luis and Odette, Lauren Chauncey, Paul Gilliam, Derek Helling, Steve Diergo, Chris McCarthy, Trevor the Werefishy, who sent us a very nice message on Instagram the other day. So thanks for that. Joe Penn, happy birthday,
Thank you for that.
JJ McToots, Rachel last name, Mike Genie, Alan Garcia, Connie Tryon, Isabella Sparkles, Antero Baez, Frankie Matos Music, Johnny Rosito, Handcrafted Neckwear, CC PB&J, Adman, Emily Lee Paget. What?
Emily?
Caleb Perkins, Giant Tom Hanks, Lizzie Love, Gavin Welsh, Someone Tell Aaron, Jackie Hammond. Page.com is a tipping and rewards website.
Pretty good.
Guy with long hair, Chris Johnson, Anita Rosita Valles, Benjamin Putz, Beth Bush, Snugglepig H, Christina Camille, Marijuana, Michael Johnson, Kayla Johnston, Jules Run, Grant Levisior, Chad Clark, Heather Ashley, What is Cat, Katie Taylor, Shane Welsh, Joe Ban, Milky Beans, Jess Enright, Lillian Carrillo, Magnus Silva, Barrington Lloyd Lovett, Ben Fuchs, Theodorus Karen Bellis, Janisha Tutton, Danny Sinclair, Jacob D. Bradford, Justine Beebe-Steen, Just Josh, Sergeant Sparty, Ed Birch, Helen Ford, Illumino, Superfloss, it's Tatiana Day.
Tatiana.
Danielle Di Verona, Dev Robavro, Jesse Stillwell, Katie Lee G, Rob Devereaux, Don Bjorn, Nestor De Leon III, Luis Hernandez, Alexander Legowski, Monique Quistorf, Felicia Shimberry, and Matthew J. Palka. You guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.